This video is sponsored by AFK. Good evening and welcome to War Thunder's website. I am your host, Old Dead Man. Looks like War Thunder is determined to have a variety of devblogs in one day. There's 3 today, so we're going to see if we can get through them as quick as we can. At the recommendation of my son, who has apparently been watching other YouTubers a little bit more closely on the production side, I am sitting with my head under a blanket with my microphone. So bear with me as I try and explore this new and exciting way of improving the audio quality of my items here. All right. Gaijin is hard at work. They're upgrading the engine from DAGOR 5.0 to the new DAGOR 6.0 engine. And with that comes some awesome new graphics, some of which we've already dealt with in the clouds effects video we've already done. So we've got some additional new video effects. You already can see the YouTube video playing. A lot of the changes are, of course, the environmental and all kinds of exciting things. It's going to be probably the most beautiful War Thunder has ever been. They're also going to be updating explosions and fire and destruction. Let's take a look at some more details. Previously, the way they dealt with the firing animations was basically a series of sprites interacting with each other. This is very unrealistic, very flat and 2D, and they just kind of did some little bit of a trickery to make it look nicer. So this time, with the DAGOR 6.0 engine, they're actually generating genuine, individualized firing effects. The light is entirely based on the fire and what's going on. The size of the shot flash depends on the caliber of the gun, and the muzzle flame itself has received the correct reflections on the surfaces of the aircraft and gun barrels. In addition, the shell ejection effect has been updated. The bursts of shots are also reflected on the ejected casings. In the new version of the graphic effects, shot bursts, fires, and explosions have received photometric brightness, making them look better in HDR and the resultant post-processing. You know, doggone it if that isn't just really pretty, effectively firework changes right there. Missiles are getting better flame streams behind them, so that'll be a nice thing. And of course, what do they show for their example of what the new damage effects look like? Well, they show a B-29 blowing up. And I just mourn for my Silver Lion count every time I see this picture. It just makes me cry. Significant improvements have been made to the effects of aircraft shells and bombs hitting enemy aircraft in different surfaces. Depending on the caliber and type of projectile, a flash with smoke and debris occurs on the point of impact. The appearance of the incoming hits now depends on the material of the elements receiving damage. Metal or canvas holes, wooden or metal structural elements are destroyed in different ways. I mean, look at the visual difference between the fire in these two videos here. In one, it's like, okay, here's your sprite. We're going to add your fire sprite just streaming off the back end. This one looks like it's a genuine fire going on over here. The right side here with the new DAGOR 6.0 engine. And oh, it still makes my teeth hurt seeing that thing explode like that. I wonder how much if they're actually... it'll be interesting to find out if they actually have a damage model that allows for different destruction points on the wings than they used to. Doesn't look like it. It looks like they're sticking with the same one. So that's not changing. But how it looks when you get lose your 70,000 or so, 55,000 Silver Lions, as I recall. I'll take a look at that number later. Is going to look just absolutely beautiful. When hitting the surface of the ground and objects in locations, different types of projectiles form different collision effects, depending on explosive weight in the projectile and the type of surface, such as oil, snow, metal, wood, etc. Now, the appearance of such collisions have been improved with the addition of dynamic flash and smoke, sparks, and blast effects. All fragments ripped off from aircraft and objects, soil particles, as well as ejected cases now have their own physical model. I do believe that the correct term in this is your PC is going to be screaming, "No!" But we'll see. 3,000 kilogram explosion. That's quite the difference right there. Take a look at the difference. We have transferred most of the damage effects in ground vehicles to aviation. Blast effects, physical sparks, and correct lighting. The holes from bullets, shells, and shrapnel have become voluminous. If a fire occurs inside an aircraft, flame is now visible through these holes. Aircraft fuel and service fluids now have new effects of leaking off when tanks and engines are damaged. The overall picture of a damaged aircraft has become noticeably more lifelike, especially thanks to the new effects of fire and smoke. Here's a few more images of that, and I'll give you some better close-ups of them. Fires and explosions in aircraft and the subsequent destruction of the aircraft structure have become more reliable. The nature of the destruction now depends on the type of critical damage. We've reworked the physical and visual effects of flame and smoke. The fire trails from fuel have become voluminous and bright, with a long, smoky trail. When the fire spreads, destruction of the aircraft occurs. Broken wings rotate in the air. The fuel from the tanks continues to burn out both out and inside them. In case of critical fire damage, the aircraft hull catches fire and continues to burn after hitting the ground. If the aircraft's speed is high when it hits the ground, it continues to slide with inertia. This effect is especially noticeable when destroying jet aircraft at low altitudes. If the surface on which the destroyed aircraft glides is solid, sparks appear under the fuselage. I hear new cinematics coming even as we speak. The effects of fire and smoke continue after sliding. The plane burns out on the ground for an extended period of time. So there you go. We're looking at some really interesting visual effects. Look at the way this looks from the back here on this one picture. You can see the building behind it is affected by the smoke and the damage and the burning and everything that's going on right here. It'll be just fascinating to see how this actually plays out. Is it going to really reflect on the environment so strongly? We'll see in the next update of War Thunder. In the meantime, the server hamsters, they're going to be working overtime. And you have a great rest of your day.